Right, well, g'day again. Okay, had to take a halt at doing the doors and things like that, and yeah, cleaning up them welds. My brushes are gone in my angle grinder, and yeah, so then I thought, well, I've got it prepared enough now to put paint on the firewall, or welded, and there's no more heat going on any of the areas I'm painting. And yeah, but then I tried to clean the rust off that was under the hinges just with a wire wheel on the drill, and it just, it wasn't good enough. It just wasn't taking it off well enough. At this point, I probably would have just treated it with some rust converter if I had some, but I don't have any anyway. So what I managed to do actually is I inspected the brushes on the angle grinder, and they had about 2 mil of brush left, and yeah, they're just not making contact anymore because the spring won't push them down any further. So I cut a couple little bits of metal just to put on top of the brushes for the time being. I gotta wait till payday Thursday, get some new brushes, but yeah, I need it to run for half an hour. So yeah, as I said, I'll put a couple of little bits of metal underneath the springs, just enough so they could push the brushes down that little bit further. Of course, I won't use it any more now, because if I wear through the brushes, it's going to do damage to the grinder. So yeah, but anyway, getting back to the thing, I managed to scrub all the rust off. I used a what I call a scourer, a paint stripping disc or something. Yeah, it's just about cactus now too. It's actually due for the bin. But these are really good for removing rust and paint. The best thing I've come across. And they don't wear the metal down. If you're using a sander, like a rotary sanding disc, a flap disc, anything like that, you're going to wear the metal down, make it thinner. But yeah, this doesn't remove metal. It's a really good thing. So, but yeah, it's cactus in the junk box. What I did find after I did scrub it down, I did both sides. I painted it in a red oxide. What I did find was in front of this hinge, you can still sort of see the weld if you look close, that had a crack just in there. That paint's still a bit wet. You had a crack there, and then had an angle grinder cut from when I'd done the rust repair on the inside that I'd missed, so I had to weld them up. And use what's left of my flap disc and the stone. The stone was to get up into the corner a little bit. And the other thing I had to do was that one of the welded nuts was missing on this, so I welded another nut on there. This is that red oxide primer that I've spoken about many times, and surprisingly enough, this come from Bunnings, and there's 3 different brands, and surprisingly enough, the Dulux is actually the cheaper one, which is, that's very surprising, because they're usually the dearer of all the enamel paints. But just can't speak highly enough of this stuff. This is absolutely brilliant for stopping rust. I mean, you get the rust off first, but it won't ever rust again underneath this stuff, And, I made a video specifically about it, of a piece I put on my clothesline that's been out in the Ran for 10 years, never got a top coat, still not rusted. And yeah, it's okay under paint too. I'd sprayed 2-pack primer over it. I don't think you could put a top coat straight over it. I don't think I'd risk that. But I'd sprayed 2-pack primer over it, and that didn't have any issue at all. It doesn't fry up, react or anything. And this, just on this firewall itself, I'm just going to be using an acrylic spray can primer, mostly because there's the tiniest little bit of filler just here. It's just finishing off. That's a piece I welded in. I got a hydraulic clutch in this. I bought a kit and it just wasn't suitable. And what I worked out was that the master cylinder and the slave cylinder were actually made for a HR Holden 6-cylinder, and they just weren't adequate for a V8. So I ended up changing the whole system to a Land Cruiser. I don't know what model Land Cruiser it come off, but yeah, that gave me the extra push and yeah, made it a little bit easier on the foot. I've had to do that because I got a crook knee. So that's why I removed the clutch, the cable clutch to begin with, because well, that wasn't that long after my accident actually. When I first got the unit, or first got my ute, that all the running gear and everything off this van's off and the front end. But yeah, the cable clutch was just too hard for my knee, so that's why I changed over to a hydraulic. But yeah, so there's only a tiny bit of putty in there, and yeah, that'll clean up without too much trouble. So again, I won't be needing a 2-pack primer to fill it or anything. Yeah, this acrylic primer will do fine. So, but yeah, as I said, I was wondering how it'd go over the top of this red oxide primer, and I tested it. There's no issues at all. Didn't have any problem. Mind you, this bit of red oxide's been on there for several weeks. I'm intending to spray this whole thing when I finish rubbing it down tomorrow, so hopefully I won't get a paint reaction. Hopefully it will be dry enough. It should be. I got the fire going in here. It's pretty warm. It's probably 20 plus degrees in here at the moment. 20, 25. It's pretty warm in here. So hopefully by tomorrow it'll be dry enough. I'll test a bit, somewhere that's out of view, probably up here or something like that. See what it does. If I don't get any fry up, any reaction, well then I know I'll be right to do the whole thing. What else am I going to mention? I am actually wet rubbing this. I started dry rubbing it with 180, and it's sort of clogging up the paper a bit. And I thought, well, the engine was leaking a lot of oil previously. I think I've already washed it all. When I washed the hole underneath, degreased it all and pressure washed it and painted the whole thing, had the whole thing off the chassis, which is in other videos I've made. But yeah, so it should be free of grease. I would think that if I'm doing this bit down here, I would have cleaned up there as well. But yeah, just to be sure, I'm wet rubbing it, and I've got hot water with a fair amount of detergent in it, just to be sure there's still no greasiness left on there. But yeah, anyway, that's where I'm up to now, and I'll get some primer on this, and by the end of the week you'll be able to see the colour I'm putting on it, and of course it'll be probably months before I get around to get the rest of the van anywhere near ready to put paint on it. And yeah, I wouldn't paint the whole thing right now anyway, it's too cold. Yeah, like, yeah, you can get away with spraying in here with the fire going, you know, just open a couple of windows and yeah, then close them again when you finish spraying and vacate the place for a little while. But when you're spraying the whole thing, different story altogether. You got to have the roller door up, all the windows open, even a fan blowing. So yeah, yeah, I couldn't paint it right now, yeah, over the winter, even if I had it ready, like the whole thing. But yeah, I've got a metallic red, and wife and I, yeah, had a bit of a debate about different colours, and she wanted to do it black, like, yeah, jet black. I'm sort of doubtful as to whether I can get it straight enough for black, for jet black, you know, like, black will show up everything, yeah, unless it's 100% perfect. You cannot paint it black, or it'll look terrible. Any little mark will stand out, and you know, like, I reckon it'd look really good jet black, but I'm just sort of doubtful as to whether I can get it good enough for that. And the other colour I wanted to do was a gunmetal. I seen a HJX Monaro, two-door Monaro done in gunmetal with a you know, satin clear over it, and does it look tough? It really suited it. You know, it looked like it was bulletproof, you know, like a tank. And yeah, I really think that would have suited the van, but yeah, wife wasn't at all keen on that. She wasn't keen on it having, yeah, a non-glossy finish either. So yeah, anyway, so we come up with a dark metallic red, and I don't know if it's actually dark enough yet, but yeah, this will be a good thing, just painting this small area on the firewall, you know, because, you know, then I've got, you know, a couple of months to change my mind to, you know, envisage the colour, you know, imagine the colour on the whole car, and yeah, make a final decision. I mean, if yeah, I may well even change the colour yet. You know, if I don't think it's dark enough or not going to suit the rest of the car, well, we might change it up again. But anyway, so yeah, I'll get that painted, and yeah, I've sort of had enough of welding and grinding for the moment anyway, so I'll get the paint on here, and then I'm going to concentrate on getting the engine going, and yeah, get the whole thing drivable. At least then I can move it in and out of the garage, you know, like I'm in and out of the shed, you know. If it's drivable, I can drive it out of the shed, put it back in the garage, and yeah, I can work on my other vehicles and other things in between. See, while it's sitting in here not running, I can't do anything else in here. There's not enough room, so I got to get my bug in here. There's some modifications. I want to do the rear suspension yet and the front. And my fairlane's got to have a bit of work done yet too, so that needs some, yeah, suspension parts and other things done. So yeah, that's what I'm going to focus on now, is getting the thing going. And yeah, bit of work in that, bit of expense too. Yeah, I threw all my old spark plugs away, so there's, yeah, 8 spark plugs at probably $10 or more each. So yeah, expecting $80 for a set of spark plugs. Yeah, 5 litres of oil, there's another $50, $60 of filters, another 10 or 15. Yeah, another $10 to $20 for coolant. Probably need to top up the gearbox soil. Yeah, like even this panel here, I gotta clean that up. Yeah, so I gotta buy. Yeah, when that goes back on. Yeah, next time the hub before I put the radiator in, that'll be all painted, and the radiator itself, which has been hanging up on the shed wall for 3 years. It's the only place I could think of where it won't get damaged. And yeah, so a little bit of expense and a bit more work. Like even the cross member for the gearboxes underneath the car. That's all, yeah, rusty and dirty and greasy. So yeah, bit of work in scrubbing that up and painting it as well. And yeah, I do have a new gearbox mount. Bought new engine mounts. So yeah, a lot of the things that are going back on it are brand new. You know, it's like all the shockies are brand new. All the bushes are brand new. There's a new idler arm. I've still got to get 2 tie rod ends. Well, most of these are okay, but yeah, 2 of them aren't real crash hot. One's worn and the other one's just got the rubber split, so I'm going to replace the both of them as well. I haven't bolted this on yet because there's a big groove in around that, so I'll be putting a speedy sleeve over that. I would prefer to just put a new harmonic balancer in it. The issue you can get with these is that they can actually come apart. There's rubber between this piece and this piece, and it deteriorates, and they have been known to actually come off. The other thing they've been known to do is turn that little bit so that your timing mark isn't accurate anymore. But yeah, don't know how to check that. I'd like to actually check it and see if it is still accurate, but not sure how I would do that at the moment. Probably by the groove, yeah. If I look at assembly, that groove, it should be up, down or something at top dead center, so yeah, I'll be checking on that. Yeah. Anyway, that's where we're up to. I think I've put in enough of a ramble. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, hit like please. Bye.